Today we're going to be talking about 8 tips for wide receivers to never drop a pass. Tip number 1 is going to be keeping your thumb and your index finger connected when you catch the ball, more commonly known as the diamond. So I think everybody from the time they were like 5, 6 years old have been told when that ball is thrown to you, ball's above your waist, you want to keep your hands in a diamond. Essentially that means you want to keep your thumb and your index finger as close as possible. A lot of young wide receivers will catch the ball, they have this big gap between their hands, and that's why that ball will go through their hands. Now another thing though that a lot of people don't think about is you should try to keep your pinky fingers connected when that ball is a low pass or an over the shoulder pass. So if that ball, I think of it like your hands are on a big clock. You got 9 o'clock and you got 3 o'clock. That's when your thumb and your index should be connected. But anything below that, you should flip your hands. Pinky should stay as close as they can. You don't have to actually have them touching, but as close as they possibly can to secure that pass. Now, the second tip to help wide receivers never drop a pass is you want to find a trigger phrase that you could play on repeat in your head. An easy one that I like to repeat anytime the ball's thrown to me is pretend my eyes are a camera and I'm trying to take a photo of the ball. So when that ball's thrown to me, I don't want anything else in my line of vision. I don't want it to be the football and then like this white line over here, this soccer goal over here. I want it to only be the football in my line of vision. Take a photo of the ball with your eyes. Now also guys, if you're a receiver and you would like to train with us this offseason, we're going to be coming out to 12 more states across the country for 2-day long QB and wide receiver training camps. Next up on our camp tour, we'll be coming out to Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois. All of those camps are completely sold out, but we will still have a couple more opportunities to train this off season. We'll be coming out to Buffalo, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, and Los Angeles, California. So guys, if you're local to any one of those cities and would like to train with us, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, the next tip for wide receivers to never drop a pass is going to be for over-the-shoulder catches. So anytime that you're running, like let's say a deep fade downfield, chances are you're probably going to have a DB who's right on your hip, and that DB is not going to be running, looking back for the ball, trying to feel where you at. He is going to be playing you, and more specifically, he's going to be playing your hands. So you want to try to have late hands anytime that ball is thrown over the shoulder. So if I'm running downfield, ball's thrown over the top, I don't want to reach up and show my hands to the ball because this DB on my hip is going to know exactly where to shoot his hands through or when to turn his head to make a play on the ball. So we want to try to have late hands. You have to trust your eyes. Think about that trigger phrase that we were talking about, keeping those pinkies together like we talked about earlier in this video, but you want to catch this ball right about chest level so the DB doesn't have time to react and you can put this thing quickly to the tuck. Now this next tip is for wide receivers who are coming over the middle and they have to catch in traffic. So this is a common question that we get asked a lot. I'm catching over the middle, I'm maybe a little hesitant to catch through contact, somebody's grabbing on me, what can I think about? So obviously everything else applies. You got to keep the thumb and the index connected, got to take a photo of the ball. I think over the middle in traffic you also want to be late with your hands as well so nobody can rip it out when you reach to the ball. But the number one and most important thing, catching in traffic, guy on your hip, be violent to the tuck. So what does that mean? So that ball hits your hands, I don't want to be turning upfield and then put this thing away. As soon as that ball makes contact with my hands, I want to rip this thing violently to the tuck, because if I get tackled, he's grabbing on my arm, he's trying to play my hands, he doesn't have the opportunity to knock this pass out. Now the next tip for wide receivers to never drop a pass is going to be for a jump ball catch. So let's say I'm in the red zone, I give a move on a DB, I burst up to the outside, I'm throwing this 50-50 jump ball. So a lot of wide receivers struggle with this, and there's 2 things that you want to focus on when it comes to a jump ball. Number 1, you got to have the mindset like that's the ball, that's your ball, that's your catch. We're not going to let the DB even get a chance to make a play on this thing, which brings me to the main point, go up strong. If you go up with a strong grip, and that's why working on grip strength for wide receivers is so important, and we're going to give you some great grip strengthening exercises as this video goes on, but anytime on a jump ball catch, we have to go up strong so we can rip this ball away from a defender. Now, when it comes to a jump ball as well, you obviously got to rip the ball violently to the tuck, but another thing I like to do is if you're in the red zone, let's say I got a DB on my hip, I go up for this jump ball, you want to try to put your body between the defender and the ball as you're ripping it violently to the tuck. That's the major key for catching any type of jump ball pass. Now also guys, if you're a wide receiver and you would like to have a custom workout plan made by me, check out that second link in the description below. Wide receivers, what you could do is you could send me film of like game film, practice film, clips of you training, whatever, and I'll give you guys a video feedback analysis, tell you the areas you need to improve on, and then give you guys a structured workout plan with on-field drills and gym workouts that you guys can do to improve those areas and those weak points of your game. So if you guys are interested in that, check out that second link in the description below. Let's get back to these drills. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about isn't necessarily a tip for you guys to never drop a pass, but it's drills that you could do to never drop a pass and things that you could work on if you don't have a quarterback to throw to you. So the first one is very simple. There's going to be a grip strengthening exercise, and all you need is a football. So what you're going to do is just hold this football away from yourself. You could do this as a warm-up before any type of on-field workout that you're doing, but you're going to hold this ball and you are just going to do tiny catches all the way around the ball, focusing on having this ball stay in the webbing of your hands. Now, what do I mean by the webbing of your hands? I mean your fingers, because when you catch the ball, and we're going to talk about this later, you never want the ball to make contact with your palms. You want to stay in a strong grip position, which is essentially that webbing of your hands. So that will strengthen that webbing and get you a stronger grip to help with any aspect of catching a pass. Now, the second thing that you can do, and this is another exercise for grip strength, for finger strength, is a fingertip push-up. So all you're going to do is just come down. Instead of doing a regular push-up, you just stay on your fingertips and you just go up and you go down. Same deal, you could work that into like an upper body gym routine. Those are two easy exercises that you can do for your hands that don't require tennis balls and do not require a quarterback. Now, the eighth tip to help wide receivers never drop a pass is going to be about that bullet pass that we were just briefly talking about. You don't want to let the football cross your face. So what do I mean by that? So let's say I come off the line of scrimmage, run a 3-step slant, I break over that middle, that ball is thrown to me. I don't want to throw my hands up last second. Like, you want your hands to be late somewhat. You don't want to be that guy who reaches out and goes to the ball, but you also don't want to try to catch the back half of the ball, because when you catch that back half of the ball, that's when that ball goes through the middle of your hand. So you guys want to focus on the 4 points of the ball. Again, don't let the ball cross your face. So something that I do with my wide receivers is I'll number the 4 quadrants of the ball. So I'll put like a 3, and then a 4, maybe a 2, whatever. I'll mix it up so it's not like super repetitive for them, but that ball is thrown and they have to call out whatever number that they see. It helps them focus on those 4 points and keep that ball in front of their face. If they're catching the back half of the ball, they can't see those 4 points. So make sure on a bullet pass, guys, we don't let that pass cross my face.